Hi, in today's video, we are focusing on feedback and the decisions for a successful implementation. Let's start. The first step is to understand what's validation and what's approval. Okay, which are the key differences. And in case of validation, it's answers to the next questions. Are we developing the right features? Yes, no. Is the solution providing genuine value to the customer? Does user experience and user interface meet the customer requirements? Okay, so validation is to validate or confirm something with stakeholders, users, uh, your own business, management team, etc. Okay, and then there is the other concept which is approval, which is if we need to an okay to start to invest to something, and the questions that are related to the approval is: can we move forward with this? Do we approve the additional investment? Is the project finished? Okay, some of that questions like validation, we are validating or confirming them with the stakeholders, the users, the customers, providers, etc. And in case of approval, it is usually granted with the project manager or product owner or some team lead or director or even customer if they are paying for us to develop the solution. In a digital transformation context, here we need an alignment among the team and validating that some of the decisions or most of the decisions help adjust solutions and avoid bottlenecks and some interferences or inefficiencies in the future. Okay, so here there are two ways. Uh, there are more ways of making decisions, but we are focusing on two types: shared decisions and unilateral decisions. Both have positive impacts and negative impacts. Okay, so which are the pros, the benefits of shared decisions is that we have solid implementations, collaborative approaches, and we get a deeper understanding because of different point of views with several experiences or different backgrounds. But in contra, we have to invest more time in making shared decisions. During the decision, we could face some potential conflicts among the members, and the decision making is more complex than with unilateral decisions. Okay, in the case of unilateral decisions or isolated decisions, they used to be more quick, fast, efficient, and if something goes wrong, we have a clear accountability of who has the fault or who has failed or who decided that. But this is not the type of culture that we want to implement in a digital transformative company. But this is another for another lesson. And also, we would have in unilateral decisions fewer conflicts during the decision making. Okay, during the decision making, we will have fewer conflicts with unilateral decisions. But in the future, during the implementation, during the training, we will face more change resistance than if we have opt for a shared decisions model. Okay. Also, it would conduce probably to a weak implementation and to limited perspectives and not taking the different point of views in a 360 degrees perspective that we could have in the shared decisions model. Unilateralism or deciding by ourselves without taking into account others' opinions, okay, could be faster, more efficient, but also if we do it wrong, it can have severe consequences. Okay, like unmet needs, the customer wanted a pizza and we didn't listen to him, so we have finished the product without including it, and it causes us to rework and also wasted money and wasted time because of not listening properly or taking them into the decision making process. With our team, we could have a lack of engagement related to not take because they feel that they are not taken into account. Okay, we are cutting ownership and productivity. We are cutting their wings, and people don't feel that they are uh, involved in that solution. Okay, we also will face some team conflicts. As I told you that you didn't listen to me, you did what you want without taking into account other perspectives. So this is creating team conflicts between teammates and also between departments. Okay, and another unilateralism impact is bad communication. You are not communicating it properly to the others, or others just directly don't want to listen to your excuses or your reasons. So it's complicated. Yeah. Okay. So team validation and achieving or trying to achieve consensus or at least majorities and using fluid communication between team members have several advantages, like that we are including a diversity of perspectives and point of views, different ideas coming from their backgrounds, from their studies, from their previous experience in other companies, and it can enrich a lot the solutions. Okay, validating it's a key aspect of agile frameworks or mindsets like Scrum, Kanban, Lean, and others. And we are delivering better products, both in design and the features that we are delivering, and we are boosting the transparency and encouraging trust among the team, moving from a group of people working together to a team, a true team, working for a shared goal with a shared vision and a clear objective and route. Agile frameworks or methodologies are integrating the validation process in a transversal or holistic way. In the case of Scrum, you validate decisions or ask for feedback during the daily stand-ups, as we saw in lesson 4. Then during the sprint reviews and retrospectives, we are learning from our errors and from our um, good decisions, and we can validate future actions based on that learning. Then in the Kanban, there used to be validation checkpoints during the workplace, during the workflow, sorry, on the work in progress limits or team line deadlines or validation columns, like the one that we saw in the previous video about approval, etc. Okay? And in design thinking, we are continuously validating with the customer in every step. Since we do the empathy map, then with the ideation, prototyping, testing solution, implementing, we are validating continuously. One of the principles of the design thinking is to continuously validate with your user or your customer. And as I mentioned, validation is not a one shot or one time aspect. It it must happen frequently and iteratively, not just at the start of the end of the project. And we should boost a feedback driven culture when there is an openness to listen to other opinions and discuss them with them in a safe environment and respectful one. And then it's important for the continuous improvement and being promoting the critical thinking with us and also with the teams, and continues focusing ourselves in improving both us and our departments or organizations. One tool or methodology which is used to validate it's a feedback loop. A feedback loop it's a way of continuously gathering information and analyzing and responding to users, team members, stakeholders to improve the outcomes or the throughput. And it's a process that can be used both for validation and approval, which reduces risks and also increase the product quality. Okay, so feedback loops, why are they important? They are important both in validation and in the approval steps. Okay, in validation, we can anticipate ourselves detecting issues early, and also it encourages iterations or iterative improvements and um, incremental solutions. Okay. And also, it's a feedback loop can lead to or should lead to data-driven decisions during the different steps with evidences and that data-driven decisions. Okay. Sometimes intuition is good, but it should be complemented with data-driven decisions. Regarding to approval, it ensures that one decision it's based on collective insight and not in an individual or unilateral opinion, and it promotes also the feedback loops as we are sharing our feedbacks openly with our teammates or with our bosses or management team, etc. It promotes transparency and trust for those and departments because we are not hiding things. We are openly communicating and improving everything for sure using assertiveness and active listening, which are skills that we are going to see in the last module of this course. And then approval enables faster corrections when feedback is negative or unclear. Okay, so we can validate it with that manager, product owner, project manager, and correct it if we have not understand it properly.